someone that does not want to have any confrontation with the dog, you see that sign and then you are cautious and careful. Sometimes you see a sign that will say military zone, keep off. And what that means a military zone, and you don't go into that territory except you are qualified to go. Sometimes you see a sign that will say I and that tells you that you have to be careful about what you introduce into that atmosphere. And then you see another sign.
Oh, men kind of wobble.
Let them make mankind.
Oh, yeah, so.
What I got to so what's our book you know mankind?
Wait, the obwa. Say, we me brana say my book.
Like, I mean, child, me imagine me be kind. Me back kind.
So kinds of wobble. There be over. When you're born as one kind, maybe.
Of other people's irresponsibility. So in the same vein, just as we have places, we also have people that are danger zones. Now you are sitting down here right now, everybody's looking normal, looking proper. But you don't know who is HIV positive. Yeah, you don't know who is HIV positive. That's the danger zone. You are sitting down here right now, you don't know who is a time bomb that has insecurity issue. You don't know someone that has anger issue. You don't know because they are sitting down, they are all dressed up. Okay. They are sitting down here right now. You don't know who is a promiscuous person that has problem with poverty. You don't know someone that has a mental health issue. So we have all kinds of people that are danger zones. And that's why one of the new rules of love is you should avoid danger zone. That means you should never get into that place. You know, I told you last week, never take your heart on the journey without your brain. And that's because every time your heart is the passenger and your heart is the driver and your brain is the passenger in the vehicle of your life, accident is inevitable. So don't get into danger zones. When you see a sign, don't ever think that somebody will just change like that. Someone, you are meeting with someone and every little thing they are insecure, every little thing they are just passing out. That's a child. They might look like an adult, but that's a child trapped in an adult body. And people that throw tantrums. So you need to be very, very sensitive to observe, sensitive to watch. What are the things that people are doing that will reveal to you that this person is a danger zone? By the time somebody is telling you, let's put the Bible aside, forget Bible. That's the warning signal. That means that there is a realm in the life of that person where the word of God does not have effect. There are realms in the life of that person where the word of God is not what controls what they do or controls what they believe. So you need to avoid danger zones. You need to avoid danger zones. So an angry person is a danger zone. An insecure person is a danger zone. A non-believer, an unbeliever is a danger zone. A promiscuous, immoral person is a danger zone. A stingy person is a danger zone. Someone that is bound to their past, that does not have, that is not yet healed from their past, that danger zones, or else you will become a victim of all their past issues. So you need to ensure that you do not get into danger zones lest you submit yourself to a life of confusion and a life of all kinds of evil. Next, the next new rule of love is that consequences are now greater and faster. Consequences are now greater and faster. Please listen and listen well. We live in a world where whatever you do has consequences. There are consequences for every action. There are consequences for everything that you do. And many people don't understand that. They just feel that, oh, I can do this and get away with it. I can do this and get away with it. And this is one of the amazing things about consequences is that now it is greater and now it is faster. And sometimes, if not most of the time, the consequences
I'm not trying to okay, just
Don't Baba any. It's one was about you. Let me show.
you see that's where we
Let me show the way.
Get rid of your duplicate photos and videos. Delete promotions
we have
and
another
spam emails.
65.
So I give you an example. We have just come out of
And
COVID,
RF.
and many of us saw the devastation of COVID.
Because
in the
never
life of
did
people.
know.
Now, if you kiss someone that has there's a consequence. If you get involved in premarital sex and you are a fornicator, when you are doing your fornication, will you feel any electricity to say, hey, you have carried HIV? No. But consequences have entered. Many times people don't realize that consequences are now faster and greater because when consequences come, they don't announce themselves. They don't bring a loudspeaker. They just enter, and then before you know it, sometimes it take a year, sometimes it take years, sometimes months for you to realize that that thing you did last year, that action you took last year, is now producing the result that you see now. It's very, very important for us to know that consequences are now faster and greater. So don't get involved in anything that you know you should not get involved in. Don't get involved in anything you know should be avoided as a child of God. Next, the next new rule of love is to know that men are different from women. Men are different from women. We have what we call the gender uniqueness, the uniqueness of each gender. A man wrote a book many years ago, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And what Vince was trying to unfold to us to understand is the fact that men and women seem to come from two different planets and they seem to speak two different languages and act two different ways. And one of the things you need to understand is that as an individual, if you don't understand that men and women are different, you're going to get into trouble. Now, later on in the course of this series, I'm going to take you on an entire module on the uniqueness of gender, how that a man is different from a woman, and then we'll look at all the differences between the man and the woman. So we're not going to focus extensively on that in this part. One of the things you need to understand, let me just give you a few of that, is that men are logical while women are emotional. Now, when we say men are logical, does it mean women are not logical? No. When we say women are emotional, does it mean men are not emotional? No. But one of the things you tend to realize is that it is more of a tendency and it is not a law cast in stone. So some men are emotional, some women are logical. And sometimes you see an interplay of that in the life of people. So men tend to be more logical than emotional, while women tend to be more emotional than logical. And you see, men are more of headliners. So most of the time when you meet with a man or a man has gone through an experience and you want him to recount what he has gone through, he's just going to give you an abbreviated version. He's just going to give you the short version. But when you meet a woman and ask how the day was or how the experience was, she's going to give you a full version and give you insight into other areas that you probably will not hear if you are only listening to the man. So men are different from women. There's a uniqueness of each gender. We are not better than women. Women are not better than us, but we are different. It's not about being different. It's not about being better. And we need to understand that as we continue to look at the new rules of love. The next one is we don't have a love language. We're going to look at the language of love. I think it's going to be one of the most we also look at. So we'll deal with that, but there are love languages. Love as a language. And I think I've shared with us earlier on in the course of this journey. I think we've already done love languages. Yeah, we've done that already. Yeah, we've done that. So the language of love. So we all have a love language. We've done love language already. So I think that's in February. Yeah, that's in February. So now we need to understand that those languages that we looked at, I think we looked at the 5 love languages. And you need to understand that if you want to love someone, you have to find out what their love language is. Because like I said to us when we looked at the model of love languages, I said that people, because when we looked at the model of love in a way that makes them to feel loving, instead of in a way that makes the other person to feel loved. So you need to find out, and that's what communication is all about. Because you don't want to surprise someone that does not love surprises, and you end up being the one that will be surprised. You don't want to go and do something that you have taken, gone through all the effort and spend money, and then the other person really wants all this, and then you feel sad and you feel bad to them for money, and they may not appreciate it because it's not something that speaks love to them. So you need to understand that we all have a love language, and one of the new rules of love is to understand that everybody has a love language, to identify what their love language is, and then to be able to help them to flow in that dimension. Next, no relationship can survive without third parties. No relationship can survive without third parties. One of the major.
This is how the brain of a procrastinator functions compared to a high achiever. Procrastinators tend to have a larger
error that has affected relationship for generation is this idea of never bring a third party to your relationship. It's a major error. It has destroyed a lot of homes. It has messed up a lot of families because a lot of people, not because they have followed that counsel, have ended up seeing their homes and their marriages destroyed and coming up in a situation where things that could have been salvaged could not be salvaged because by the time they came out, it was like before cancer. Listen to me. If you ask medical doctor, tell you as long as you can diagnose an ailment early, is there's early diagnosis and early discovery. Most of the diseases and most of the ailment that kill people will not be able to kill people. Even cancer, when you track down cancer at stage 1, stage 2, it's still something that can be dealt by life. But by the time it gets to stage 3, stage 4, then you are talking of the supernatural. So when it comes to relationship, listen well. Every man, every woman that goes into a relationship is not perfect. Every man, every woman that goes into a relationship needs other people to be a part of that relationship. And most of the time, like I said to you a few weeks ago, in the same statement where they are saying, don't allow a third party. In that same statement, they are saying marriage between a man, a woman, and God. Is that not already third party? So God himself is a third party. So no marriage can survive without third parties. God himself being a third party. So what you need to know that in a relationship you need matured third party. You need trained third party. You need experienced third party. You need spiritual third party. You need disciplined third party. You need the third party that will come and help you in your relationship. So please listen and listen well. If you're in a relationship with anyone, whether you're single or you're married, and there's an issue that the two of you cannot resolve, anytime you have an issue that the two of you cannot agree on, an issue that the two of you have not been able to resolve, you need an external party that is objective to come in and help the two of you to see clearly. Because sometimes you are saying the same thing but from two different perspectives, and someone that is not emotionally attached to the discussion can now come in and help you to see things objectively. So please, let's note that we need people in our lives. You just need to be sure that the third party is the right kind of third party. Next, there are inevitable stages as you enter into marriage. One of the new rules of love that you need to know is that when you get married, there are inevitable stages that marriage will go through. Many times, people are not told this. They are not told, and so they come into the marriage and they don't realize that many of the things that they are going through, if they have been told, they will know how to go through it. I remember many years ago, I went to Benin to preach for Bishop Chibulu a few years back, and then one of our members here, and she was in the choir, she got married to a minister in Benin, and they are related to Benin. And in that meeting, the guy came to see me with our sister. They came to the hotel to see the two of them, and the man said, "Sir, I want to thank God for the marriage committee of the church. That if not, by now, this marriage will have been over." I said, so. He said, that my friend got married after 8 months, they are divorced. I said, what? 8 months? Yeah. And he said that all the book recommendation that the marriage committee gives to them, even your daughter did not read it. It's me that read it. It's me. I read everything and I knew that, okay, based on what they have taught us, this is what happen, these are the differences that can happen. So I prepared myself. So when it began to happen, I was like, hey, relax, they have told us. I took her back to the manual. What they were saying, that book is in this chapter. And he said that's what God has used to help us. Listen and listen well. The very first you get married, because you are in church, thou shalt not fornicate, you are in church, you get engaged to someone, and then there are all kinds of boundaries, and because you want to live right and be an ambassador of God and live in righteousness, you don't get involved in all kinds of morality, but you are waiting for that day. Hey, when we get married, hey, heaven will fall. So you are waiting for the day when you will consummate the marriage. So when you get married, the very first stage that people normally face is when they get married is what we call the honeymoon stage or the honeymoon phase. Now, the honeymoon stage or the honeymoon phase is that new season. You are married, you are just getting to know each other, you are enjoying the joy of sexual union, you are enjoying, you are probably on holiday, you are probably not going to work, you are probably abroad, or you are in an hotel somewhere, nobody, you are in your room service, you are not cooking, you are not taking us home, you are just enjoying yourself. Depending on who you are, depending on the state of your life, that can last for maybe 1 month to 1 year. Honeymoon. But guess what? For some people, it is the very week or the very month that they start expiring, honeymoon will begin to expire. The next stage that comes immediately after honeymoon is what we call the realization stage. The realization stage. Now, at the realization stage, you just suddenly begin to realize that there are some things that you are seeing. There are some things that are beginning to show that you are not aware of. So, for instance, because you are a Christian, you never slept in the same room or slept in the same bed with the person you are getting married to. Now you are married, you get to the room, you sleep, and this beautiful man, handsome guy, you get to the bed and the guy begins to snore. And he's going, I know this dangerous one. And the one that goes over the one. Surface go. And then so what do you do? You are like, hey, this was going to have 2 separate bedrooms. How can you have 2 separate rooms when you are not a grandmother? So before you know it, you now begin to realize that this man snores, or this beautiful woman that looks so powerful. By the time she starts snoring, it is like, and you're like, are you speaking or snoring? Look, when you marry, you will see all kinds of stuff. And then you wake up the next morning, and then you see that the woman have drooled, or the guy has all kinds of muco in their mouth, in their face, and the beautiful person you saw, you are now seeing the real person you are going to stay with. Because people don't wake up made up. They don't wake up made up. They don't wake up with eyelashes and with makeup, cream, everywhere looking normal. No. And that is why before you marry, try and visit the man or the woman before any more. Let it to see how they are natural. Not all the one they have given you all the fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake this, fake that. Because many of the things you are seeing, abracadabra, the more you look, the less you see. So make sure that you understand that the first stage is what the honeymoon stage. The next stage is realization stage. You begin to realize that this guy is dirty. This lady cannot cook. This lady is dirty. This guy is rude. This guy is lost. And you begin to see a lot of things that you're like alone because you have been living alone most likely. You have been used to your space, and now someone is invading your space, and then the person is farting, and you are eating on the table, and you're and your phone is what's wrong with that? And so how do you cope? These are realities. And then the person will just give you, and then there are some that doesn't even make noise. You know that fat that makes noise is the one that does not smell. The one that is that one, no noise. You just see the atmosphere has been transformed. They say this beautiful woman, you are the one that released these thoughts into the atmosphere. So you have to now fall in love with the facts. You can't be too sensitive. Excuse me, don't fight. Do you know that there are couples that cannot be in the toilet with each other? Somebody is pooping, somebody else is brushing. They can't do it. These are the realities. So you can't say you're pooping, I want to brush. You can't end up be brushing and be enjoying everything together. These are the realities. So the very minute you cross honeymoon, the next stage is realization stage. Now, this is why a lot of people begin to have problems. Because when they get to that realization stage, they now have options. Option 1 is avoidance. Option 2 is adaptation. That is where trouble starts. So a lot of people, because they are not friends, they are not friendship in their relationship. Because they don't communicate effectively. They are afraid to say something that will hurt the other person. They are afraid to bring it up. They are afraid to talk about this. And for some people, it's even in the matter of sex. You get married, and then you are having sex and intercourse with your wife, and you are squeezing the bread because you are hungry, squeezing. And the woman is not talking. She said, no, you don't squeeze, just caress. Caress is not, but because she doesn't want to say anything, she will be there. You are squeezing. And she's not feeling good. She's feeling pain, but nobody's talking. Before you know it, avoidance. So you're either going to avoidance or adaptation. When you don't communicate and you don't discuss and you're not open to talk about the things that are beginning to come up, you're going to begin to avoid each other. Unconsciously, there's going to begin to be a gap. But when you begin to discuss and you communicate, then you begin to adapt. You now understand that, oh, this is normal. Oh, you now understand that, oh, this person normally wakes up in the night. This one is a day person. You understand that, oh, he doesn't like hot food. Oh, he likes hot food. You now begin to understand and begin to adapt. Because whether you like it or not, there are some things you will discover about your partner that will never change. Never. As in NEVER capital. Never. So you have to be ready to, okay, for instance, if your partner snores, please, what's the message for snoring? No, people are international people. What's the message for snoring? So before they sleep, that they will now say, oh no, Pastor, there's a device. You now put the device and the person is sleeping. And then it will now be laid to rest. And rest in peace.
It's not fair, my own.
The next morning, the person
There's
is
no
gone.
kind of.
Hey, God forbid, Pastor. Hello. So some of the things that are trouble. After a while, the snoring will become music to your ears. And you even begin to dance to the snore. Snoring, snoring, snoring. So there are inevitable stages. So stage 1 is called honeymoon. Stage 2, realization. Stage 3, adaptation or what? Or avoidance. When you go through the rounds of adaptation, the next stage will be understanding. The next stage will be intimacy. Adaptation, understanding, intimacy. Because intimacy is more than sex. But when you go through the phrase of avoidance, avoidance will lead to separation. Separation will end up in divorce, or it will end up in pain. You are just managing and enduring the relationship. So the very minute you start avoiding issues, you don't talk about what you talk about, you are moving towards separation and divorce, or towards having to endure the marriage. And then you see people that are married 10, 15, 20 years and they don't really have any excitement in the marriage, they're just going through a routine. These are very, very important for anyone that wants to succeed maritally, and that's why it's called the new rules of love. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
I think traditional ebooks provide a really poor reading experience, and I knew that the right server.
There are no perfect people, just raw materials. Listen well. When God created the world, He created the world in the raw material dimension. God created the tree, He did not create the chair. The chair was inside. God created the sheep and the animal. He did not create the clothes. But the clothes were on the back of the sheep as wool. So God created the earth. And the sun was there, but God did not create glass. But the glass was in the sun. Because when the sun is heated, it becomes glass. So you find out that one of the things you need to understand about God is that God does not give you finished product, He gives you raw material. And many people miss it when it comes to the aspect of relationship, because we focus on the container instead of the content. So you tell yourself, oh, I want to marry a woman that can cook. I want to marry a woman that drives. I want to marry a woman that is this, a woman that is that. But you now meet the person that God brings into your life. She can't cook, she can't drive. Question, how long does it take to drive? How long does it take to learn cooking? So when you see her, yes, you are looking for a woman that can drive a car. But when she came, she can't drive, but she can drive if she's trained. Because you didn't come driving, you learn driving. But because we don't understand that, when people come, they are raw form. Because we don't have the big picture thinking. We don't have the sensitivity of the spirit. We are not saying that this person, I want an educated woman, and then you meet her, she has just finished school, sir, and her father died. And 4 years later, all she has is school, sir. Not because she doesn't want to go to school, not because she's not intelligent, but life happens. And then by the time you are meeting her, you're like, only school, sir. But when you met her, there was something you saw that drew you to her, and now you are discovering she doesn't have school, sir, and in your eyes, you're like, okay, on my list,
No,
building
yeah,
mining from scratch. There's this whole world map you explore, and the mines are seriously creative. You're not just digging for dirt. You'll end up mining in futuristic cities, lava-filled caverns, even underwater reefs and sea creatures. It's weird in the best way. And here's the kicker. It's an idle game. Now that means your miners keep working and earning while you're off.
Because if she's not having the BSc you expect, it only takes 4 years to have it. Hello? That doesn't mean that because of the journey of 4 years, you will stop the journey of 47 years. Hello? When you met that man, in your mind, you have said to, oh, when I'm going to marry, I need a man that is settled.
Yeah,
A
man.
man that has a
Oh,
house,
okay.
a man that has a car.
Me mama nkwa wo kan sa ade.
When you met him, you were and he's
Whatever.
telling you, I love you, my future is not your future, my future will job. And then you lose your future because you cannot see the future. And the man that is a youth couple today, that you say you don't want to marry because he came in the raw material form, you now left him and went after the one that has a car and has a house, and you ended up with his car. Because you can have the car today and lose the car tomorrow. You can have the house today and where have you been? Where have you been? Because not seeing very well. Praise God. Listen and listen. You can have a house today and have a kidney problem tomorrow and sell the house to go for kidney donor and become a tenant. Hello? Everything created by man has an expiry date. No condition is permanent except the one that God gives. So when we are talking of the rules of love, God does not give you perfect people. Don't let anybody follow you. There's no perfect man anywhere. There's no perfect one anywhere. Someone was asking me 2 days ago, do you think because it's who you are? And he's now telling me, so if I want to be married, what's your advice? Do you think I should look for a young girl that's never married before?
So,
Or I should
wo
look
wi
for
ni
one
ni won ka so wi.
that has children?
Me na ka se si a me du ha ka mo me wi.
Whether it's
Me a me kan out ohwe.
No, so ka no kore. Me ka so wi mo. I'm not saying you're cheating, but me ka se me na ka me wi fast say ka o ka se me wi.
So me kan ya me kan. Nti won tin ya wo me wo kan ya.
Oh, me wi ni job ya so na.
Wo wie mu kan na me tun kwa de me me kan.
Me wi mo ho na waka. So na wo twen me wi ni no, so me wi. Because
Ada show ada.
you refuse to accept say the newly now me wi ni.
I say show.
Say
Hey. She's saying.
so we need the way we need me.
You know any anka o.
Me wi.
In the sense that people handle their
So we need the and the
businesses.
no ni a just so we need. Me dey me we need the me wi.
Into your life, you are not marrying the person alone. You are marrying your past, your present, and your future. Your past, you know what they told you. Your present, you know what they told you. Your future, even they may not know. So if you
You know so we
Me na so we wi mo but me ka say me na me wi ni ya. That's like this faster. Ka me ka say me wi. But so the who we need the end.
Why do you tell it? Today,
Oh, I say let's change it.
I don't know first one you boy one thing.
Oh, yeah, sure. And you say me I'm marrying here now, because I just want us to change. That's funny.
So sit down and
Yes, more.
every relationship
We
you are
need
in,
we need the other already more.
everyone that God brings into your life as raw materials. Don't forsake that raw material. Don't regret that raw material. You are looking for perfect.
Stupid guy.
Not a perfect ready-made man.
Sensing you must know.
Ready-made man can be ready-made trouble. Ready-made woman can be ready-made trouble. Just be sure that you are the center of the will of God. Is there anybody called Jolly? Jolly is something like Jolly Goodfellow. Jolly. Is there somebody? I'm hearing Jolly, something Jollly. Who is the person? Right? It's not in church. It's a female. Because the person I know, there was one lucky Jolly one time. There's one, okay. So Jolly, okay. I just said Jolly. Okay. Let's look at the next one so that we can see how far we can go because the curriculum is long. People's values have changed. People's values have changed. Please, I beg you, don't think that just because you are a Christian and you are in church, everybody is a Christian or everybody that is in church has values. People's values have changed. People don't value God the way you value God. People don't value church the way you value church. People don't value Bible the way you value Bible. People don't value marriage the way you value marriage. You are the one that say, I want to get married, I want to have a home. Some people, they don't want that. So when somebody that doesn't value marriage meet with somebody that values marriage, there will be trouble. Because you think that every woman wants husband and children. No, not every woman wants husband and children. There are women that don't want to get married. They don't want to get married. We just completed our conclusion for me, and it meets with people. One of the women that came and said, please just pray for me because they don't want to marry. They don't want to. We have spoken, we have spoken. They say, I'm married. I'm married to this car.
Just do this to cool your phone.
Stop doing this. You don't need to delete spam mails manually. All you need is to go to the App Store, find and download Delete.
Optimize storage with smart cleaning. Scan for duplicates and delete in a click. Get rid of spam emails and calendars. Good as new.
Why didn't you tell me?
This three-word prayer is so dangerous that some people have fainted upon hearing it. Did you know that the most dangerous prayer you can ever pray is only 3 words? If you skip this healing prayer, God will skip you too. The universe says that whoever is watching this video will be healed of any health problem or pain.
There are all these men out there. There are no good men out there. So when next they ask you and they say that, ask them, are you a good woman? And if they say they are good, ask them. So you mean that God will create you and do something good for you? I say let them see the limitation of their thinking. There are people that don't want to marry, they don't value marriage, but they want to have children. So they go and do IVF for them and get a donor to have a child. They don't want any marriage. So good thing that people value what you value. People's values have changed. You can see nakedness, you can see shamelessness, you can see visionlessness. So people don't even value education. Education has scam, all kinds of people. People's values have changed. One of the people that came in from it was a successful people from 4 continents, from 16, from all over the world. One of the guys that came in from Abuja, he doing amazing well. When it was his time to do one of my businesses, I called my own problem. God is doing well. My business is moving fine. My faith, the only problem I have is marriage. He said, that is the only problem I have. What is the problem? By the time the guy started talking, you know how you can't advise somebody against Bible, but your mind is like, hey. He said, since I met you, I don't know how I entered this problem. I said, you know how? It's by disobeying God. I'm not hearing God. But if I tell you, let me just give you 2 out of the plenty stories of one woman has done to a man in the US. He said, by the time we finally got married, I discovered that she didn't have a lot of qualifications that I thought she should have. Because she looks good, looks perfect, but education, and then when she begins to talk, like, so I told her, you need to go to school. Anywhere in the world, Canada, America, I will pay. Whether it's physical, you want to go to school, so that within the next 4 years, because you have BSc, if they don't tell me that, I'm not going to Canada, I'm not going to America, and you're not rich, what are you going to go to school so that you get a job and get money, you have all the money? What school? We are married, just let me enjoy my life. You know, sure. No, wait. If that was short, you wait for the second one. I think I just give you 2 out of my 6. I fell for the guy, but he's the one that used his hand to do himself. Hello. He says, sir,
Same
after
form.
persuasion, calling the families, okay, what do you want to do? You cannot just be a full-time husband. I'm thinking of you becoming so that this business, you can join me, so that you can hold on to business. There are other things I want to do. He says, I have 2 malls, I have hotels, I only me, I'm a young boy, I'm not up to 40. Oh, God is just helping me. I need somebody to help me. Now this woman doesn't want to go to school. I said, okay, what do you want to do? Say, okay, I love fashion. I want to do boutique. People's values. He says, sir. So I took a whole part of one of my malls, gave it to her, spent 30-something million to renovate it and put it to order so that it will be state of the art for my wife. She had now gave her 10 million naira. She said, go to Lagos, go and shop for everything that you want to start with. See, my wife got to Lagos. It was supposed to be a 2 days journey. The second day, we're just there, just to let you know, it may take a while before I come back home. What's happened? Don't worry, you will know when I return. See, that's how she disappeared for 2 weeks. So by the time she arrived in Abuja, she arrived with a bigger breast. True life story was with me yesterday. So my wife arrived with a bigger breast, no load. She spent 7.5 million to go and do enhancements. Hello. True life. This question you can get. True life story yesterday.
I don't know who I was fun on that.
I see.
So yeah, some men are maybe.
The bell wasn't the one that you intimidated.
They should feel
He
sure.
says, at that point, I
Yeah,
lost it.
that's maybe.
So because
And I
number
mean,
one,
kind.
I don't have problem with the breast she has. This one now is just disgusting to me. That I just I have problem. I said, what's this thing? She said, no, we have separated. She's somewhere, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm a minister in my church, and I'm people say, so since you're also a pastor, what can I do? You know, my pastor don't know, she doesn't listen to anybody. I said, people's values. Okay. We had a couple in this church that were believing God for children. And when we say come out, they will come out, we'll pray, not knowing that the woman was using contraceptive. And the man thinking that the wife also had it. And the woman was inside this one, yeah. And you are thinking she wants to have a child using contraceptive. The day the man stumbled on something, he didn't even know what the thing was. This one is sick. And so he brought the chair from where he saw it, kept it out so that he can remind himself to ask her, I didn't know you were sick. Which drug is this one? We are Christian, we are not always sick in this house. Hello. People's values have changed. So one of the major reasons why we have problem in marriage is ineffective courtship. Ineffective courtship. That's one of the major reasons. When people are courting, they don't court effectively. They don't ask the right questions. People's values have changed. People are talking in the textbook. You want the children to go abroad. You want to jump, no problem. The textbook they are using to teach your children in London, in America, in Canada is that man can marry man, woman can marry woman, and then you teach them one thing in church, teach them one thing at home, you teach them another thing in school, and they'll say auntie said, and they will come and argue with you that there's no problem. Now they are saying our Father who art in heaven is not okay anymore. You know, Church of England, they are always there. Why are you not God? It's no more our Father, it's our Creator who art in heaven. Because of woman liberation, that's why you say our Father. What of the women? Are you saying God is a man? God, what of women? So women liberation, they don't carry this feminism thing enter fire. Again. People's values have changed. So don't be furious because you're in church. You saw each other in church. Forget it. A full church. Didn't you hear the drama? Church is hospital. Everybody is impatient. Some are responding to treatment. Some are not responding. But they will respond. A protocol that has a protocol. And it's a fornicator. Abba, yet to lay. Hello. Protocol that has protocol. And it's a fornicator. And it's doing like this. Instead of it to bend the head like this. Are you getting something? It's the new rules of God. So that you will not be, when I say I just feel, the way I make you feel. Don't feel nothing, Don't go and attach your hand to trouble. Let me give you one or two more. Don't build your life on exception, but on principles. Let me tell you something. No matter how ridiculous something is, there will be somebody somewhere that did that ridiculous thing and seem to have gotten away with it. There are people that met online. They met online. In 3 weeks, they got married. And they have been married for 20 years. And it seems that everything is fine. Does it mean you will meet somebody online and marry in 3 weeks? That's an exception. So one of the new rules is that you build your life on what? Principles, not on exceptions. There are exceptional things that happen. Somebody can be 70-year-old, married, 25-year-old girl, and they'll be together for 20 years. The man with the attitude will move for 5. It doesn't mean you carry yourself around marry grandma. So there are exceptional situations that happen in our world. Exceptions. God is a sovereign God. He gives room for all those exceptions. But life is supposed to be lived by principles. So you plan your life based on the principles of life, but you open up yourself to exceptions. You are a woman because somebody married a younger man and it seemed to be working for you because you are not really there. You don't know all the other things that is involved. You don't want to marry your younger brother. And hello, so I'm going to marry him, but this other one marry this one. Don't use people's life to compare yourself. Hello, don't use people's life to do what? To compare yourself. Because many times you don't know the real story. You don't know the real story.
The Nido Obatama promo is back again. Yes, here's your chance to win a
So what are those exceptional things that you have put yourself into? Yeah, you don't understand. I know somebody that did it and it worked. Did it really work? Do you really know the full story? Or the version that they made you to see? Or the version you interpreted? Or the version that your assumption made you to believe is the truth? Hello? I was in a meeting about a few weeks ago, and someone has used me as a case study and an example for them to be able to do something. And they were discussing, and they were trying to get me involved. And I said, give me his number. Let me talk to him to help you. That you have no idea. Me that you're trying to use as a you have no idea some of the things that you don't know. That me, I'm exceptional. I'm exceptional. What I've gone through, what I'm going through, what I've had to handle in life. Some people have not handled one cause that they don't die. And so you will never see my struggles in my faith or in my action. You won't see it. Because I have some level of understanding that makes me continue to be bleeding yet blessed. You now think that, I think you will just see yourself. So I said, no, give me his number. So I gave them just like 5. If one of them was almost crying, I gave them like 5. So I said, do you know this? And do you know I go through it? Do you know that? By the time I finish, they said, let's rise up and pray for the man of God. No, they gathered around me to pray for me. What? No, when I go to the room, I said, pray for me. fact, maybe the prayer point, men of God, one gather, don't pray for me. Because you don't compare yourself with people. You don't know people's struggle. I know there are exceptions. There are people that will be pregnant. You know, Pastor Abraham was preaching last week how that the wife didn't go for antenatal for 6 months. And he said, don't try it. Because many of you now, you don't have the faith or the knowledge or the word encounter of your senior pastor. You know, I said, did you hear? 6 months without antenatal. Here you are. You'll be speaking everywhere. You'll be disturbing everybody. Now only you get there. You're not insulting your wife. But you don't have the word encounter. You better start antenatal from day one. Hello, somebody. Let me give you one more because of time. It's no more blind. That's not a revelation now. If you don't know that right now, you are one of the most miserable. Because if you love me, if you are married, open your eyes. Shine your eyes. You know, in those days, before people get married, you go and investigate families. Go and check, is there epilepsy in that family? Is there leprosy in that family? Is there insanity in that family? Do they die young? Are they married in that family? And then you look at all those things to decide which compound, which family, which yard you're going to marry from. But today, boy loves girl, girl meets boy. Boy love girl, girl love boy. Boy propose to girl, girl says yes. Boy and girl met in church,
Mommy,
and they marry.
who was this? Seriously, I'm mommy. Who was
Yes,
this?
I mean,
David. Mommy said,
I think the buffer is gonna work.
Mommy, almost 6 I mean, you. Almost 6 I mean, you to what's up? I didn't know. Mommy,
My Moses, I'm boy any number above the boy and I.
And all you have seen is a beautiful woman.
and I'm on trust my mommy.
Name me say one.
Me and many men, some say I'm
Name is
mommy.
my boy, then I say
Oh, yeah.
Their name is in the port in the village. Every morning they are calling their name on an altar. That's the person you are meeting later. Their father will enter river and come out without being wet.
Think I will be soon.
Investigation.
You go play again.
I don't know.
Fasting and prayer. Counseling.
You play three.
This is when you now finish money. Now realize